Yeah, you knew I'd make some spoiler chit-chat video for Hunger Games Catching Fire. It had to happen because there are a lot of things on my mind about the movie. You remember in my review I told you there are a few parts where when you think about it, you're like, could that work? We're gonna talk about a few of those here. And that's a big spoiler warning for those of you out there who have not seen Catching Fire. If you haven't seen it, you can watch this video, but don't hate me when things are spoiled for you. That being said, let's talk about the movie. What I really liked when the movie started out is you really see the post-traumatic stress disorder that Katniss is going through. In the first Hunger Games, it establishes she's a really good hunter, and I myself personally put that under the flag of, well, that means good killer also. So when she wasn't just going through and tearing people up, I was like, why? Why the hide and seek games in the trees? But it's almost like, hey, Jeremy, douchebag, she's a human being. She's not a killer. She killed a few people and now she just sees it all the time. She wakes up in cold sweats and I was like, yeah, it's Sigourney Weaver from Aliens thing going on. Shit, that must have been stressful for you. I really like that. It just gives layers to the character, you know? It's not just cut and dry like, boom, 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 I won. All right, let's bathe in riches, or at least, if not riches, middle class to today's standards, but that's like living like a king in this world. Everything sucks in the world of the Hunger Games. President Snow's a douchebag. I'm just telling you right now, this movie illustrates how much of a dick he actually is. It's not like he's some businessman just like, my empire is crumbling, she must be dealt with. No, he's like, I look like Santa and no gifts are coming this year. I'm an asshole. My douchebaggery is it's without limits. Dickery. That's what he has. He has severe dickery. So I love the scene when Katniss sits down with Cedric Dickery over here, because I like it when the hero sits down with the villain and they talk. It's not a civil talk, but I still like it when they're face to face. They're like, okay, no guns right now. I feel like shit's gonna get real soon though. However, I have a few questions about the movie. Jumping to the end of the movie, a few people were in on a huge plot, a huge scheme to plant Katniss into the Hunger Games, and they were all in on it, and a lot of the tributes were also. Smarmy was in on it. He is Smarmy. That's what his name is, Smarmy. He's the real star of the show though, let's be honest. It's not Katniss and the crew, it's Smarmy and his marmalades. So this is Act 1 in the plot with Smarmy and the marmalades. But there are a few things that are unanswered. Like Haymitch had this whole plot, but the plot, I think, revolved around him being outside of the Hunger Games. Otherwise, he couldn't have, gotten the ship and gotten her out of there. So how much was Peeta in on it? Was he in on the whole thing? Was it all part of the plan for him to volunteer as tribute in Haymitch's place? Or is it possible that he wasn't and that was not part of the plan? That was him just being like, I'm gonna do this because I like Haymitch. In which case, what if when Lady Gaga read off Haymitch's name, Peeta was just like, good luck, man. I ain't saying shit, I'm not an idiot. Then Haymitch should be like, shit, well, I guess I'm in there now. We'll take on the evil empire next year. And in the end, you find out the game maker, Philip Seymour Hoffman, is actually a good guy. Cool, but what about all those times where Katniss really could have died because of the shit he threw at her in the game? Like when he's like, spin the cornucopia and fling them all off there. That seemed pretty dangerous. I think her life was actually in peril at that point. You see her get flung off into the water and he was like, all right, stop it. You think he was like, all right, stop. Oh shit, she could die. She could be dead. Yeah, that could have killed her. I think Smarmy had it under control, killing all the dicks that were trying to kill them. Maybe he had to assess, all right, what's more dangerous? A few assholes on the cornucopia trying to kill Katniss, or spinning it and having her possibly drown? I picked drown. Drown her, or not drown her. Make it look like she's gonna drown, but we're not gonna drown her. You don't know that though. I do. The acid cloud is arguably the most dangerous part of the entire movie. This big acid cloud is coming after them and you're like, this is gonna gobble them up and they're all gonna die horrible deaths. You see that they control the acid cloud because it all puffs up like there's an invisible wall there and it goes away when it has to. You're like, oh, luck of the draw. Oh, not luck though. Philip Seymour Hoffman obviously had it under control, but I'm saying, what if, when it was nipping Katniss's heels, what if she tripped and sprained her ankle and there's just like, dead. Oh, there goes your hope for revolution. Or shit, maybe she gets martyred and then there's a revolution anyway. Either way, they win. When there are so many variables, I have to think about what's the possibility that Katniss could have died in this whole situation. Your plan goes to shit. To be clear, I'm not bitching about Catching Fire, I just have a few questions. Look at the end of the movie. At the end of the movie, she shoots an arrow up at this little spot in the dome and the lightning hits it and it blows the dome apart, which is very cool. And then this ship comes down, catches her, and it has Haymitch and Philip Seymour Hoffman and Smarmy, and all is right with the world. But the point is, what if she didn't do that? Did they all just get in the ship and they float over there and they're like, okay, I'm really rolling the dice that she's gonna shoot her arrow at this thing right when the lightning hits. Odds are kind of 1 in a million that she's going to, but if she does, we're really gonna make out good on this. My question is, how did she know to do that? In the movie, no one really told her to do that. That one dude who's a really good scientist was like, oh, force fields, they glimmer when there's a weak spot, nothing's perfect. So that alludes to the fact that there is a spot, but right there is just kind of implication. There is no guarantee to Haymitch and Philip Seymour Hoffman that she's going to shoot the bow and arrow right when the lightning hits and blow the dome apart. So what if she didn't do that? Would they just be hovering above the dome like, All right, she didn't do it. Or we need to go or else we're gonna die. It didn't work. In the movie, they wanted this big shock, like, oh, they were in on it, like the Crying Game ending or something. You had no idea and it hits you in the face and you're so surprised. But because of that, no one could tell her to shoot that spot in the dome. And because of that, you had to see Philip Seymour Hoffman firsthand try to kill Katniss, although he wasn't trying to kill Katniss, but really, if you look at it, she really could have died a few times. So what if she did? Philip Seymour Hoffman would be like, I think I'm getting promoted at work. Haymitch is gonna hate me though. I guess this video, for nothing else, really does show you that when I have questions about a movie, it doesn't really hinder the entire movie. It is a cool movie about revolution, and I like that stuff. That really gets me, so I enjoyed the shit out of it. It doesn't change the fact that it does look like there are a few conveniences in the movie. But Smarmy and most of his marmalades made it out of there, and that's what matters. I do love the fact that there was a big scheme going on and everyone was plotting, because it's perfect time to do it too. Because you gotta think, at first I was like, why did Philip Seymour Hoffman give President Snow the idea to bring back all the tributes? But when you think about it, you see Katniss has post-traumatic stress. Haymitch is like, there are no winners in the Hunger Games. There are just survivors. No one wins. And I'm sure a lot of the surviving tributes feel that way. So bringing all those people together, these people who've experienced firsthand how terrible the games are, how bad this evil empire is, how much of a dick Santa douche actually is. So they're all of like mind. They're like, you know what? Yeah, let's work together, bring this whole thing down. Because this is bullshit. Not all of them were in on it. Only half of them were, but half of them were like, yeah, let's work together here. So that made sense why Philip Seymour Hoffman was like, let's bring back all the surviving tributes. It seems like a good idea. You're so screwed, President Dick. How about the scene where Lenny Kravitz got his ass beat and probably killed? Shit was nuts. I really like that scene because it shows the psychological warfare of it all. It's like, yeah, kick his ass right in front of her right as she's going up to fight the Hunger Games. Does beg the question, why did he stick around? He makes this suit that makes her a Mockingjay, pretty much tells President Douche, and he sticks around to see her off to the Hunger Games. He had to have known he was gonna get his ass kicked and snuffed in the middle of nowhere. He should have been like, all right, I put a surprise in your suit, push this button when you're ready. I'm gonna be somewhere else in the entire world because I just don't want to die today. Yeah, when you manufacture a Mockingjay suit for the face of hope that exists to tell the president of the evil empire to suck his own dick, you should leave. You should get out of Dodge. I love that scene when President Dick is just standing there and the lights go out. Like, ga-doom. He's like, it's not possible. You see that he feels his mortality right there. He's like, that little girl is bringing my entire world down. Fuck it. Let's just waste her entire town. And they do at the end. Gale's like, yeah, they got PETA and they destroyed our town. It's like Sato from Karate Kid 2 made good on his promise. The homes, the church, everything gone. And that's what happened. Homes, church, everything destroyed. Okay. And then she just gets this pissed off look in her eyes and it ends. And I was like, I'm really interested for the third one. Well, the third and fourth one, because that's what the movies are gonna be. Because this isn't the games anymore. It's the Hunger Revolution is what it is. With Smarmy and his marmalades. And now we're going to District 13. What is it? Where is it? How is it? Is it like District 13, all the rumors we've ever heard? It's just a wasteland, it's blown up? I don't know. I just don't know what District 13 is. Is it sand? Like 3 people who are alive in a bunch of rubble, one person just out in the middle of nowhere, just stewing a bunch of steel, like, welcome to District 13. I have no idea. I'm interested though. I have a feeling all of these questions I have about the movie are answered in the book somewhere. Or maybe they're answered in the book because the book did it differently, but in terms of the movie itself, it does look like a lot of conveniences happen. Doesn't change the fact that I really enjoyed Catching Fire. I had a blast with it. I'm ready for the third movie. Remember the 5th of whatever date it's gonna be, but it's gonna be awesome. Let's bring this shit down. I love a good Rebellion Empire movie. So Catching Fire, I'm sure a few of you out there have read the book. These questions I have that the movie didn't really illustrate answers to, are they answered in the book? Did the book do it differently? Curious to know, because I know the comment section of a YouTube video is a haven for people who want to be like, actually, it was done like this. This time, I want to hear it. I want these answers. So please comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.